So this is a really quick introduction to the clone stamp tool. I'm going to very quickly go through these three images and show you what it is and why it's used. So the first one, I'm going to show you really basically what it does. If you select the clone stamp, which is down in the tools, it looks like a stamp. You get presented with all the options that you get for a brush. What size do you want? What brush do you want? You can also set the opacity of what you're going to paint and the flow and what layer you're sampling. This is the important bit, but we're going to learn that as we go along. First thing you need to do with the clone stamp is set the area that it's going to clone from. So I want to get rid of this ball out of the image. I'm going to hold down the Alt key on the keyboard and it turns the circle into a crosshair. The crosshair, and then I'm going to paint, and if you watch where the crosshair is, it's painting in the information from there. And if I put the crosshair in the middle of the screen, then as you can see, I can paint that screen right across the image so it looks like it's scrolling. If I put the clone stamp on this guy over here, I can paint him back into the image as a second version of him. And I can be quite careful if I want, or I can rush it like I'm doing here, so I can show you more different ideas. So that's step one, basics of the clone stamp. Let's close that image. Okay, this image here, which we're going to look at next, is somebody's face that I found that's got a couple of spots on. So in the business of making models look beautiful, the first thing they do is get rid of these spots. And they do that by zooming in quite far. They get as close as they need to get so they can get the skin tone right. So we can see this little lump here, that's the spot. So we want to grab some of the skin from just down here. That brush is maybe a little bit too big. Let's just take the flow rate down to about 80, take the brush size down, make it more of a splatter brush as well. Okay, let's try that again then. Select the layer we're working on, choose an area of skin, there we go, that's a lot softer. So I've got another spot over here to work on. Again, I'm being quite quick, so I've got quite a lot to show you. And there's one just there under the nose that's in a little bit of the shadow, so let's pinch a bit of the shadow. There's maybe something there going on. One too many, I'm just going to undo that. We've got one in this bright area here in front of the lips, so let's just try and blend that in a little bit. And we've got a bit of a red mark underneath the lips, so let's try and steal that. So I keep resetting where I'm cloning from. Just keep pressing the Alt tool and moving it over. Now that side's a bit dark, so go back to the other side. And then when I zoom out, hopefully we've got rid of most of the spots I did in an earlier version. So yeah, I missed one or two out, but that's my earlier version. So again, quite quick changes, very easy to do. Final one I want to show you is this fish tank here. Well, it's a bit of reef more than a fish tank. That's the one that I made. So I got rid of all these fish out here, I cut them out, I then clone stamped the sea back in. I took this yellow fish here and I moved him over here and copied all the reef across. So really simple things that you can do with the clone stamp tool, and really effective. So have a play with it. If you're really confident with it, have a look at putting fur onto a human face tutorial that's coming up next.